This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today I worked out a pattern from friendshipbracelets.net. This is pattern number 112550, and it was an interesting bracelet in the sense that I wanted to find some kind of a balance to, have a perfect center and everything. And it turned out that with the size template that I use for the length of bracelet that I do, that it turned out like really, I almost couldn't have asked for it to be any better. A couple extra rows it might have been really neat as well, because then the yellow would have been on top of the orange. You'll see it kind of that part as we get to the middle of it, but still it came out really, really well. And the main thing I wanted to get out for people to see with the pattern making was that you can have, instead of just starting at some random point and trying to work it out, that if you work out the bracelet to the length that you want it to be, put what you want in the center, that it can make the bracelet look just a little bit more thought out. There's a lot of times where people will make a bracelet and let's say it was this one, and like it ends before it does the last thing. It's still a cool bracelet. It's still, you put a lot of effort into it, but when it's all centered and balanced, I think it just adds a whole another layer to the complexity, and people will notice that for sure. It's got a real cool Kumi loop on it that my wife made for me. I'm not sure in the reveal like how well you'll be able to see it, but it's really pretty. This took me about an hour to make, which is about normal for a 12-string bracelet. So yeah, nothing big there, and there was no string that was used up so much that we had to worry about it running out or anything like that. There are a lot of little like zigzags that make it so like here, like the white and the yellow has to bounce and come inwards, and the white has to go to the outside, and it does that a lot because the white is only in these like little middle spaces in between where the diamonds are, and then they zigzag around a lot inside of there. So like this isn't what I would consider beginner friendly, just because of the amount of zigzag knots that are in it. But intermediate people should really probably enjoy this one a lot. And again, I made my template based on the string that I use. So my string comes from AliExpress. So if you're using like say DMC or whatever, you may actually have to build a template for yourself based on the number of knots. And it's really easy to do. How I did it was basically took a pattern that I was already done with, that I already made the bracelet, and then tried to recreate it with my graph paper until I got to the length that held that whole design. And then I could find the middle points. I could do all the things I needed to do to create the template that I use. Of course, if you can have like a real nice center part, like a diamond, you only have to count how many knots there are from that center point to the top, which would save you a lot of time. But yeah, no matter how you break it down, getting a template that goes to the size, your strings and where you're comfortable with making, will make all the difference in the world and change how your bracelets turn out. So here's where the white is coming in, and it makes that little yellow diamond, which again, I think that's really kind of cool because the yellow diamond is also inside of the big orange diamond. So it's like there's these like repetitive things that are happening in the bracelet, which I think gives it this real attractive look that, I don't know, you don't get this a lot with a lot of bracelets. And it sort of has like a Native American vibe to it, like somehow like the way the designs and stuff are, like the beaded work, which I think is really, really cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure that it was actually going to get done in an hour because my first 30 minutes of recording got me to just before the halfway point, but from the halfway point to the end went faster because strings are shorter, the knots get tied faster, kind of works out that way. So like here's where the yellow precedes the orange, and you can kind of see how like if there had been a couple extra rows in the bracelet, like this could have been at the beginning and the end of it. It would just need 2 more rows each way, which wouldn't be too long per se. I don't know. I like my bracelets to be small enough that, you know, somebody with a petite wrist could wear it, but then the tassels long enough that somebody who's got a really, really big wrist could wear it. So to balance that kind of means that I have to have it at a kind of a certain length, which, let me pull out the ruler. I'm not even sure. The actual bracelet part of it is about 14 cm. And then if you include the loop, it's about 15 and a half. So I just happen to have a ruler nearby, so that was not a big deal. Oh, so this is the middle diamond. So wait, before I forget, because these videos end abruptly, a special thanks to my YouTube members who make this possible. I go through a lot of string and have a lot of equipment, and I have a lot of ambitions. I'm actually saving up right now for something else that'll be really kind of cool and possibly change how some of these videos come out. So we'll see what happens there. Kind of excited, honestly. I think it could be fun, but it's a surprise. We'll wait until it happens. Yeah, so here's the middle diamond. So this middle diamond is the same as what's at the 2 ends. So then it balances out really, really super well. It really comes out as something, something different, something interesting. I like it. I think a lot of people will like this one as well. Yeah, so my plan for this month is to go through, find bracelet designs that I think are interesting, and find what makes for an interesting center. Again, when I was doing the pattern for this, the other small diamond where the white part is also could have been the center of the bracelet, and it would have changed the overall look tremendously. I don't even know how it would have necessarily balanced per se, like what would have been at the ends, like how the sides would be, which kind of makes me almost want to like redo it again with this different center. But like, I don't know. If you guys want to see that, leave me a comment, let me know. Because yeah, that's a real distinct possibility of something I could do, just because, you know, I got real lucky. It turned out really nice this way. Maybe the other way is as nice, or maybe it's completely not as nice. I don't know. You know, there's only one real way to find out, and that would be just to work out the pattern, make it. Like, the more I talk about it, the more it seems like that's like something I should do, but I've already got like other patterns like planned to do. And yeah, I think a couple of the other ones I looked at could have that same dilemma. So maybe we've put these on a list somewhere, and maybe that's next month's projects. I don't know. I have no idea. You guys got to help me here, because sometimes I get real ambitious and I bite off more than I can chew. And this sounds like that kind of a project, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, segment knotting is on this one kind of worked in some places where I was able to to kind of work out like a big area, but for the most part, it's a little bit on the fiddly side. So, but that's okay. It still works out pretty quickly, and because I guess there's what, 4 colors: black, white, yellow, orange. Yeah, 4 colors. Being able to look at the pattern, seeing where you are, see what it comes up next, that was all very, very easy. It wasn't like having to cross off anything as I went along, none of that kind of stuff. And it's not so repetitive that it felt like, you know, am I in the 3rd one, the 4th one? None of that kind of stuff. It was make the diamond, then make the white area, then make another diamond, and then another white area, and then one last diamond to finish it off. So yeah, it felt perhaps faster than it actually was. And those are always nice. When you actually feel like it went in no time at all, that's pretty awesome. But then again, it might have happened because I was actually doing a live stream and I had somebody to talk to, so that was, yeah, it kind of helps speed things along a bit. If you're interested in the live streams of me actually making these things in real time, it's easy. All you have to do is become a YouTube member, where there's behind the scene videos. There's over 200 of those made up so far, and you can actually tune into the one that's actually happening live and watch me make stuff, or watch me record making patterns, or there's lots of stuff that happens over here. So yeah, check that out. And it's like $4 a month, so it's not terribly, well, $4 in the US currency. It could be different wherever you live depending on what your dollar is valued at. So all right, this is getting near the end of it. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I do try to reply to everybody. Yeah, if you make the bracelet yourself and you want to share that with me, you can join the Discord. We have a whole area over there where you can share ideas and thoughts and your own creations. Maybe you'll beat me to the punch of actually putting the center in a different spot. That'd be cool. All right, guys. Here comes the big reveal. Thank you again for watching, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.